Hello, Josh George here, talking about MAC college football predictions. Look, I think the MAC is a really interesting conference. Oh, thank God. Okay, now MAC college football predictions after all that. Two divisions. We're going to start with the East and Akron College football. Look, Akron is coached by Joe Moore. 2-10 last year. He's been singing the praises of quarterback DJ Irons, but they only have five starters back on offense and five back on defense. They were 117th in defense across multiple categories. They allowed 33 points per game, and they allowed 402 yards per game. That is why I have Akron at 3-9 and 1-7. Those wins, of course, for Akron, I have them beating Morgan State, Indiana. I think Tom Allen's on the hot seat. I think they find a way to win because of that. And then Kent State. And they lose the other games. Now, to Bowling Green. Bowling Green has 8 total starters back. Another team that the cupboard just seems bare. And I don't know if they've got the right guy at quarterback, as, of course, their passing offense was 62nd in the nation, where they passed for roughly 234 yards per game. But they've got an interesting quarterback battle going on. I don't know if Orth will end up being the starter. So, don't have a quarterback. Missing some guys on. Just don't have a lot of returning starters. So it doesn't seem like they have a lot of depth. So I have them at 3-9 and 2-6. I have those 3 wins against Eastern Illinois, against Akron, and against Kent State. Now to Buffalo, the Bulls. Look, the Bulls ended the year on a 2-game win streak, and it was just after a 3-game losing streak. So one of those teams that was kind of topsy-turvy last year. Now, they lost some guys that were really good, some all-MAC performers, but they do have a lot of 5-year guys. One of those few teams with almost with about 3 or 4 5-year guys on offense. So that can be a really good base. They only scored 4 touchdowns a game last season. They want to improve that to 5 or 6, or at least add a field goal or something to that. But they came away with a +10 turnover margin at the end of the year, and of course, the offense pulled Nick McMillan through the transfer portal, who will be a top redshirt freshman wide receiver. Ultimately, has the Bulls at 7-5 and 5-3 in conference play. And 6-6, excuse me, and 5-3. Those wins were, of course, Fordham, Akron, Central Michigan, Bowling Green, Kent State, and Eastern Michigan. Now, Kent State is a team that is picked last by multiple sources in the MAC. And they're just a team that the Golden Flashes could totally rebuild under their new leader, but they lost 2 of their best defenders to the portal, and they have 0 starters back on offense. I have them at 2-10 and 1-7. Those 2 wins being to Central, Connecticut State, and Northern Illinois. So 2-10 and 1-7. Now, Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio is a team that could be really good. They are a team that has Brett Gabbert at quarterback, and he has 5 guys around him that are also returning starters. They get to find out who is the best Miami team as they go down to the one in Miami, Florida. But they only scored 20 points per game. That ranked 112th in the nation last season. But their defense came away with a plus 10 turnover margin. And they ended up, that's 12th in the nation. They ended up 34th in the nation as they only allowed 22 points per game. So a team that's really going to lean on defense, 7 starters back on that defense, and a team with one of their top stars, Jaquez Warren, back at safety, and a top star on the defensive line in Kobe Hilton. So your biggest stars back on defense, a good quarterback, team's going to be okay. I've got them 7-5 and 5-3. I have those wins being UMass, Delaware State, Kent State, Bowling Green, Toledo, Akron, Buffalo. Now, Ohio. Ohio is a team that could definitely contend for a conference championship this season. They also have a returning quarterback in Curtis Rookrick. They also have 8 starters total returning on offense. And they're a team that only lost 3 games, including to Toledo, 17-7 in that conference championship. For them to be a team that wins the conference championship, they really do need to be better on offense. Like I say, the defense only allowed 17 points in the conference championship, only allowed 27 in a bowl game, so they can really play up to that competition. But will the offense improve? I expect them to improve at least slightly. So I have them 8-4 and 6-2. I have them beating Long Island, FAU, Bowling Green, Kent State, West Michigan, Miami of Ohio, Buffalo, and Akron. Now, for the Western Division, Ball State. So Ball State is really centered around Clayton Cole, their linebacker. He really is the most solid player. When you talk to coaches, when you watch their games, the guy that comes away with about 9.5 tackles per game. Yeah, superstar, would be a Power 5 guy anywhere. He's 6'3" and 235, probably going to the NFL. But one guy does not make a team, and in fact, this team ended up missing a bowl game because they just weren't solid all around. In fact, their offense only scored about 23 points per game last season. So I have them at 4-8 and 2-6. I have those wins being Indiana State, Bowling Green, Kent State, and Miami of Ohio. Central Michigan. Look, Central Michigan is a team that has 9 starters back on defense and a defense that was 61st in total defense, as they only allowed 374 yards per game last season and one of the best third down defenses. In fact, they had the best third down defense in the MAC last season. So they're going to be really good. They're bringing it back. They've got a quarterback battle between Brett Emanuel and Jace Bauer. So there is definitely a question mark there, but they're a team that leans a little more on the run game, as they had 159 yards per game in the run game last season. But they also don't have a returning starter back at running back. So question marks on offense. I have them 7-5 and 6-2. I have those wins being New Hampshire, Eastern Michigan, Akron, Ball State, Northern Illinois, Eastern Michigan, and Ohio. Okay. Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan is a team that's kind of been going in the right direction. They have some NFL prospects on defense and 7 starters back on defense. They have Peyton Price and, of course, TJ Peavy. 2 guys that are going to be really, really fun to watch. Not to mention Kempton Shine at DB. So a really talented defense Uh, when you break down 247's talent composite, they have the highest defensive talent composite in the MAC. But their offense only scored 29 points per game. I think they'll end up being okay. You can win with defense. I have them 84 and 5 and 3. Those wins being Howard, UMass, JSU, Ball State, Kent State, Northern Illinois, Western Michigan, and Akron. Now, Northern Illinois, home of Rocky Lombardi. Look, they have 7 starters back on offense and 7 starters back on defense, and they're really putting a lot on the shoulders of Rocky Lombardi. But he has all 5 starting linemen back and has pulled another 5 through the portal or through recruiting classes. So they will have a good 2 deep lineman, and because of that, they will be dominant on the offensive line. And that's how you turn a 3-win team around in just one season. I may be lowballing them, but I think they're going to be really good. They struggled in close games, and they had some games that could have been close that they just let get away. I think with the leadership of quarterback Rocky Lombardi, they just get a lot better, and I think he leads that offense, and they score more consistently in the red zone. Because of that, I have them at 5 and 7. Like I said, maybe lowballing them, and 4 and 4 in conference play. Those wins: Southern Illinois, Akron, Ohio, Ball State, and Western Michigan. Now, Toledo. Toledo is a team that is picked to win the MAC by many different sources, with 8 starters back on offense and 7 on defense, and Jason Candle at head coach. That does seem reasonable. And, of course, a team that won the MAC last season and won a bowl game against Liberty. Clutch defense coming up time and time again made this team really good. They had the 17th best defense in the nation, so they were really good. One of the best group of 5 defenses. And their O-line just about all comes back, so that's huge. And, of course, a lot of their skill guys come back as well, with those 8 starters back on offense. An offense that can score 31.3 points per game. Whoa, wrong way. There we go. I have them 10 and 2 and 7 and 1. I think they really will be dominant. And, of course, I have them losing to Illinois. Illinois is a well-coached team. I think that's going to turn into a shootout. I really do. And it's just going to come down to what coach can make the right play call. And then I have them losing to Miami of Ohio. Just a weird, tough road game going into a bye. Don't want to overlook anyone. And that's one of those, if they win one of those games, probably talking about the best team in the group of 5. We may even be talking about the best team in the group of 5. It just takes focus. They may not have the best record in the group of 5, but they may be the best team in the group of 5, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, now to Western Michigan. Western Michigan is a team that I think is going to be one of those weird, topsy-turvy teams. Look, Bill Kosh is a really good offensive coordinator, but can defensive coordinator Lou Esposito keep his end of the bargain on defense? And how much will Lance Taylor be hands off? And this is his first year as a head coach. But, he pulled the defense through the portal, and he has 7 starters back on offense. And he even pulled Kershawn King, running back, through the portal, and has Zahari Addis Salam, another running back. So a 1-2 thunder and lightning punch from Western Michigan. 2 guys that can really, really complement themselves. I have this team 5 and 7 and 3 and 5, just missing a bowl game in Taylor's first season as head coach. I have them beating St. Francis, Syracuse, Ball State, Miami of Ohio, and Bowling Green. The conference championship would feature Ohio and Toledo. Toledo won it last year. The ball has a weird way of bouncing. I see Ohio being a better turnover team or turnover creator. I have them winning the MAC this season to go 9-4 and sending Toledo to 10-3. I am Josh George, Football Guys channel. Please like and subscribe. It's really for free. And have a nice day.